you know, obviously you hear all the time each game is into itself as far as the playoff series, but you got to want some carryover from game one to game two. What are two or three things you would like to see carry over from game one to game two?
One, just score more points than them. Two, the rebounding was something that we struggled with in the Pelican series, and we had a number of offensive rebounds, and then the ability to just mentally weather whatever happens, missed shots or mistakes on defense, guys making tough shots, even though you play decent defense. Those are things that you'd love to see carry over. There's probably a host of other things.
Another thing I had was when I think you went small one time with Jay just for a brief spell. What is it about him that you like when you do go to that lineup, him at that five?
And we feel like we can do that with Jay and Cam and maybe Torrey at times, but they have a grasp of the offense. So it's hard to create a package of plays when you do go small, especially when you're not used to doing it. We've been able to do it because we have guys that understand to a degree how to play from the five spot in a small ball lineup. So that's pretty much it. And then, not just playing in that environment, but being able to rebound is the biggest thing. And we feel like those three guys help us with that.
Monty, Dallas was able to take almost half of their threes from the corner. That's part of what they do, but also did you watch it back and feel like there were some things you could have done better defensively?
Yeah, we did. I mean, they're good at it. They've done it, most of the year. One of the biggest keys is they have a guy who has the ball that's big and he can see over defenses and he's got longer arms than people talk about. He can make those kinds of passes. Usually if you're playing or against a smaller guard, it's not as easy to make that pass. And then they do a good job of making the next pass to the corner. It's certainly something that we talked about. We feel like we can, be much better on the backside. There were times where we were watching the ball as opposed to, judging whether the ball was under control and trying to get back out to the shooters.
But you had mentioned for JaVale McGee's stints, there were a couple of instances where you guys just didn't find him when he had that advantage. Was there anything that kind of stuck out for those stretches as opposed to like the ones with DeAndre Ayton? In terms of like being able to find him, not find him.
Yeah. Okay. It's a different. I think with JaVale, we usually find him on a dive, whereas DA will find him on the short roll, the dive late, and sometimes in a post up. Game 3 in New Orleans, we did a much better job of recognizing that JaVale had a smaller guy in the paint, and we were able to capitalize on that. We may not have looked hard enough for that. But then there's times where he may not get the ball, but he generates offense for someone else, and that's okay too. But that's a tough one to give you a good answer, but that's at least what I have right now. Oh, I mean, you have to ask him that. I try not to answer for guys. I do know he's really focused on what we're doing right now. When I listen to him, his comments during film sessions, they're just about winning and talking to his teammates about coverages and things of that nature. So that just tells me he's dialed in. That doesn't mean guys don't think about the other stuff. If you're human, you do. I mean, things can be a distraction or a motivation, or they just are, whatever that is. And I think we all live with that, if we're honest. Everybody wants whatever they want. That doesn't mean you don't give your craft the level of focus that it needs. And I think he's done a really good job of that.
Last round, you commented toward the end of the round that it seemed like after a good game, your team would come in a little bit flatter the next game. The energy wasn't as consistent. You said enough's enough in game 6. How do you ward against that in game 2 this round, making sure there isn't a letdown?
Well, I mean, when I said enough is enough, I was talking about the being knocked on our butts in a way that I didn't think was basketball worthy. But I think from an intensity standpoint, I think we understand that we have to bring it. And I think the way the game ended the other day created a bit of motivation and good intensity. We felt it yesterday in the gym. Our guys were not satisfied with, not playing as well as we're capable of playing. And when we looked at the film, there was a lot of missed shots, but there were also some miscommunications on defense. And so to your point, we have to bring the juice, the stuff, and sustain it. Even in those games where we may not have had what we normally feel like we should, it was there, it just wasn't as consistent as we all would like.
The other series now with everything you're doing for the word Memphis, do you watch it?
Yeah, I watch. I love basketball, so I watch.
How physical the playoffs are getting, period.
Not all playoffs are physical. That's just the nature of it. I watch as a fan, but I also watch as a coach. I think every year you're going to have physical basketball that's amped up a bit. So I'm no different than you all. I see more physicality. That's about all I'm going to say about it.
Monty, you talk often about Pop's influence. The other night you mentioned appropriate fear. With this round, somebody from San Antonio, Don Harris, I don't know if you remember Don, highlighted the other day that 6 of the remaining 8 coaches either played for Pop or got their start under him. Have you noticed that? What does it mean? What do you draw from that?
I didn't know that. He's done a lot for he and RC, but in particular Pop. They've created opportunities for people to figure out what they want to do, whether you played or you didn't play. That place has always been somewhat of a opportunity school, if you will. When you get there, they don't tell you what to do. You're invited to join and see if you want to do it, and then look at all the options. And that's what Pop told me. He's like, look, I think you can do both, but you got to figure it out. I can't tell you what to do. And they just laid it out for me and said, figure it out. He's done that for, countless people. And it's changed a lot of lives. I wouldn't know what to do if I had to start on my own. That the day of a coach had to be laid out for me. And I had PJ Carlissimo, Don Newman, Brett Brown, and RC to keep a foot in my tail every day when I was amiss. A few choice words that I can't say for the listening audience, but it helped me with the direction.
Monty, Jason Kidd had said after game 1 that Luka got whatever he wanted. I know when you came in here, you saw his stat line, but you also pointed out the assist numbers being down. Are you okay, I guess, with Luka getting his, or is that a recipe for success so long as his supporting cast isn't able to get involved so much?
I'm okay with winning. Like, I'm not trying to dress up a win. You know what I mean? Like that, it just takes on a life of its own. I mean, we want to win the game. As a competitor, you don't want to see a guy go for numbers like that, but our guys want to win. And so that's how I view it. That's how our guys view it. We'll try to be even better, but not just against Luka. We feel like we can be better in a number of areas. But that's our goal, is to win. Thank you.